Hello everyone. Today we will be wrapping up our series on AP Style. So we have just a few more elements to talk about, and today will be full mostly of practice and making sure that we understand AP Style. So let's start today with time. When adding the time of day, it is critical for your story to write the time as a number. I want you to use a colon to distinguish the hour from the minutes, but we do not use :00. So, what does that look like? Well, it would look something like this. We might have a time of 7:35 p.m., but we will never have 7 o'clock p.m. We will only ever have 7 p.m. But we do use the colon when we have times that are not just the hour with a 0. Now let's talk about something else as well. Let's look at 8:17. Now, you might have either written or seen it written as AM, A.M, AM, or A.M. Now, I wonder, which should you use for journalism? Should you use this, 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 or does it really matter? Actually, it does, at least according to AP Style. According to AP Style, lowercase letters with periods are this is the only acceptable format for time. So anytime that you write the time, you need to do either AM or PM with lowercase letters and periods. That is the only acceptable way, according to AP Style, to write AM and PM. And then, you might have seen this on the PowerPoint just a few minutes ago, but what time is this? Naturally, it's 12 a.m., but is this the 12 a.m. where it's sunny outside or where it's dark outside? You might be debating it with yourself and thinking about what time it is. Well, AP Style has a way to work around that as well. According to AP Style, we will always spell out noon and midnight. Always, always, always. We will never have to worry, through AP Style, we never have to worry about making sure that we know which one 12 a.m. is or know which one 12 p.m. is, and we also make sure that we don't confuse our readers as well, because we all know that noon is the midday and midnight is the, midnight. So, let's go over a couple of common AP Style mistakes. First of all, there is no S in toward, nor is there an upward or downward, nor forward, nor backward. In AP Style, we do not have towards, nor upwards, nor downwards, no forwards, nor backwards. It is just the toward, downward, upward, and so forth. We also want to avoid the use of here, as in the event took place here, or I am here at the scene. We don't want to say that in AP Style. We want to say, and if we do say here, then we want to specify. And at that point, here would be redundant. So instead of saying I am here at Charles Henderson Middle School, we could just say I am at Charles Henderson Middle School, or the event is taking place at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue, instead of saying here, instead of writing here. Now, when we refer to our numbers, we want to use more instead of over. And what that means is, maybe we don't have the exact numbers for an event or for a news story. Instead of saying there are over 100 people at this event, it is better for us, according to AP style, to write, we have more than 100 people at the event. Because over as a preposition means on top of or above, whereas more means greater in number. So we want to say that we have more people and more than 100 people as opposed to over 100 people. Now, let's get a little bit of practice in. Take some time and think about what might be right or might be wrong about this sentence. On Saturday, May 14th, the team celebrated its second place win in the tournament. Now, think back a little bit to the discussions that we've had over the past couple of days. Is there anything wrong with this sentence? And you can always pause the video to give yourself more time as well. But 3, 2, 1. We actually have 3 errors in this video. Remember, we never ever abbreviate weekdays. When talking about dates, we do not use the TH because it is a date. And when using ordinal numbers, our first, second, third, fourth, etc., first through ninth place is always spelled out. We only have the actual numeral for 10th and above. Did you get it right? And then this is what the sentence looks like corrected. On Saturday, May 14, the team celebrated its second place win in the tournament. Now, let's look at this one. The plane will arrive at Albany, New York Airport at 3 p.m. 3, 2, 1. This one has 2 of them. Remember, some of our states we always abbreviate when we write in a news article. New York is one of them. Do you remember what New York's abbreviation is? And then furthermore, again, this is 3 o'clock p.m. And so according to AP style, how would we write that? Do we keep the 00 in a time that has just the hour? Not to mention, is PM even written correctly? So how is the sentence supposed to look? The plane will arrive at Albany N.Y. Airport at just the number 3, P.M. Let's look at another one. The theater department will perform Pride and Prejudice at 2:30 in the afternoon on Friday, October 21st. Tickets are $5 at the door. So, let's think about this one. And again, as always, you can pause the video if you need some more time. 3, 2, 1. We have several errors with this one. Pride and Prejudice, 2:30 in the afternoon. Friday is okay, right? Remember, don't forget that we do not abbreviate weekdays, but October 21st is wrong, and $5 is incorrect as well. Why is that? Well, think you have the answer? Don't forget, every single time that we have a movie or a play or a book or what have you, we put those titles in quotes in AP style. We don't underline or italicize it. If something's at 2:30 in the afternoon, we never say in the afternoon or in the morning. We always say AM or PM unless we say noon or midnight. Noon and midnight are the only exceptions to the AM and the PM. We also never write out a time either. We always use the numbers. And then October 21, we don't have the ST at the end of 21st, and October is abbreviated. And finally, when it comes to money, again, for bills greater than a dollar, we go all the way up, we write the numerals for money all the way up to the hundreds of thousands. And 5 is certainly less than hundreds of thousands, but it is greater than 1. Now, let's get one more practice in. He is 31 years old. The 17-year-old girl won first place in the event. Only 3% of students like beets. And in the 1980s, big hair was in. Now, again, pause the video if you need a few more seconds. If you need 10 minutes to work through it and figure it out. But you got this. I believe in you. He is 31 years old, 17-year-old girl won first place. See, this one's kind of tricky. This one has 2 in it. 3% of students, and 1980s. So, how do we write these sentences correctly then? Well, let's work through it one by one. If he is 31, how do we write ages? And if we write an age, how do we write it when it's used as an adjective? And what do we do with ordinal numbers that are between 1 and 9? How do we write percentages? And how do we write dates? Well, we always write ages as a numeral. And when we write ages as an adjective, we must hyphenate it. 17 hyphen year hyphen old. And then we're done. That is the adjective, so we don't need a hyphen between old and girl. Won first place, F-I-R-S-T, and then only 3, the number 3, and then the word percent, right? Percent and cents as it relates to money, like 17, 18, 19 cents to a dollar. We always write out percent and cent. And then 1980s, don't forget we only use apostrophes for plurals. No, I'm sorry. We only use apostrophes for possessive. That's the whole point. My apologies. We don't use apostrophes for plurals. We only use them for possessives. And so when it comes to dates, the 1980s, in this case, the 1980s is considered a plural, and so we don't use an apostrophe for that. Well, this wraps up our time on AP Style, our series on AP Style. We are looking at having a quiz on this about middle of next week. I'm planning on Wednesday of next week having a quiz on AP Style. So look out early next week for a study guide on AP Style and on what we have discussed over the past 3 days. So you have no homework for this evening. Continue working on your blog posts. And don't forget that for this upcoming blog post, because of what we talked about yesterday with the Oxford comma, I would like for you to include a simple series on your topic. You might have to be creative with it, but not necessarily have to stretch or reach for anything. But I would like for you to include some sort of simple series in your blog post so that you can practice not using an Oxford comma. So I hope you all have a wonderful day. And again, I'm still definitely keeping open communication. I am working on grades and getting those plugged into the computer. And I am definitely within reach if you need to get a hold of me if you have any questions or concerns. Y'all have a good one.